One of the reasons why people like Elon is because he doesn't beat around the bush. He's very straightforward. There's been interviews where they have asked him why Twitter has been operating in a particular manner, and he just straight up tells them that the government was doing this, this is doing this. So I came in, I bought it, and then I changed X, Y, and Z. No sugarcoating at all.
I think the biggest thing that Mr. Zuck has faced was issues around data privacy. But it's important to note how Facebook/Meta has adapted, improved their policies and systems, and also improved their overall security. So I think a problem's a problem if it isn't solved.
Yeah, venture hustles, life is really what you make it. Building up your brand is whatever you create it. Really ain't no limit. You just gotta love it. Working day and night, it's all about the venture hustle. Hey, venture hustles. Time to take it to the next level. Let's go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Venture Hustles podcast. I'm your host, Saj, and this is Jack, my co-host. And today's electrifying episode, Jack and I are going to take a deep dive into the minds, methods, and missions of two of the biggest visionaries of our time, Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg. We're spicing things up a little bit today, where we're talking about these two geniuses and debating who is shaping the future more significantly. I'll be representing Zucky Boy, and Jack here will be championing Elon, Spaceman Musk.
It's important when you mention Elon, you say the in front, Elon Musk.
Oh,
Continue.
right. Okay. Wow, we're already getting there. So this episode will be conducted in a debate format. So we've never done this before. It's for everybody listening, and if this is the first time you're listening to us, this is not our typical style.
Yes.
Our typical style is a lot more conversational, informational. But this is going to be a little bit. It could get a little feisty today. So
It just might.
And it's also we have our producer James, who's behind the cams. He is also going to be our moderator, so he will be steering us, asking us questions, some interesting ones that are on people's minds, and some that people haven't even thought of. So I think our goal is to kind of make this informational, educational, fun. In the world of Elon and
Mark.
Zuck, we are kind of at a peak of social media hype right now because of everything that's being said about the cage fight, about them just going at each other, and they've been at each other for years. But
Low-key.
But the reality is that this is the peak, because it doesn't get crazier than this when they're two of the biggest billionaires in the entire universe are saying that they fight each other in a cage match. So I think that this is kind of originally we were going to do a Titans face-off episode, and then we decided it would be Musk and Zuck. So this is where we are. So let's dive in. James, how we doing, man?
We are doing great. How are you guys?
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Really looking forward to this. So, James, you want to kind of kick us off here?
Yeah. So like Saj said, they're going to have a debate, and I'll pretty much be the moderator. You guys ready?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Born ready.
Let's begin.
Mm.
First question. Can each of you provide a brief introduction of the tech titan that you are representing today? And then also highlight their major achievements and impacts. Saj, you begin.
Mark Zuckerberg. The name itself resonates with innovation, right? He's the co-founder of Facebook, now Meta, which has revolutionized social interaction globally. Mr. Zuck, and I would like you to refer to him as Mr. Zuck.
Maybe.
Also spearheads Instagram now, WhatsApp, Oculus, just that Oculus VR world. I mean, I could go on forever, but he has created, under his belt, he has created a social media empire that connects billions of people globally. That's That's the man, the myth, the legend for you, Mr. Zuckerberg. What you got, Jack? Elon?
Well, at the end of the day, Elon Musk, the name rings across the entire world. He services so many different people of all walks of life throughout the entire world. And so he doesn't really need much of an introduction. Everyone knows who Elon is. He is in the headlines every single day. And in regards to some of his achievements, I mean, I think that in regards to Elon, you can't go a day without using one of his products or hearing about one of his products, right? Twitter being one of the latest ones, or even if you want to step into the financial realm. I mean, he has become a master in so many different industries and realms. I think even that speaks for itself in regards to who's more of a titan in today's world. But I digress.
Your Honor, permission to cross-examine this response?
Pretty good intro. I think you just forgot the word "the" Elon Musk. when you introduce him, it should be the Elon Musk.
Right. He established that. And
yes.
also he said everybody uses Elon's products. I mean, Twitter's user base is kind of ass. It's like sub 500 million. Meta has 1 billion users.
Oh,
Twitter,
billion,
Threads,
billion with a B.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know we were just talking about social media.
Right,
Are we?
Oh,
okay. Yeah. See how quick. There's nothing to say. Should we move on to the next question here?
Next question.
Okay.
Next question. Given their diverse, wide range of interests and ventures, how do each of you see your Titan's influence in different sectors of society? Jack, you first.
Yeah, I'll start with this one, because I know my answer might be a little bit more elongated compared to Zuck.
No pun
He doesn't
intended.
really have too many different sectors under his belt here.
Right.
But the reality is, Elon has been instrumental in financial tech. All right, he was one of the co-founders of PayPal, and there's a lot to say about PayPal and how much it sold for, how young he was when that was sold, and even, which I also think is very interesting, for those that may not know, there's this thing called the PayPal Mafia, which a lot of the people that built PayPal with him are now heads, co-founders of some of the largest companies in the world today, right? So there's also something to be said for that. But even outside of that, he's got SpaceX, which is space. He's got Tesla with the electronic vehicles. He's got Neuralink, which is on a whole different level, probably one of my personal favorites, right? And then now he's got Twitter just for fun. So it's fair to say that in each of the realms he's kind of stepped in, he's kind of mastered them and taken them over. So that would kind of be my answer for that. Again, with Zuck, I'm not sure how long this answer will be for Mr. Saj here, but
Saj, you want to fight back a little here?
Yeah, I mean, Zuckerberg's influence goes beyond social media. I mean, you mentioned. Oh, first of all, why is Elon trying to get into the social media world?
Because he can.
No, because he wants that influence.
Because he can.
Anyway, Mr. Zuck, he ventures into virtual reality, cryptocurrency, and artificial intelligence. I mean, he's setting the pace for the future. And, you're talking about space, which is, mind you, Mr. Elon, that is a big chunk of what he does. It's not even it's not even a matter of discussion within the world we live in. That's all I got for that segment.
Let's just, for the audience here, based on this answer, it seemed like about 60% was regarding Elon Musk, the true tech titan, compared to Zuck. So, for those watching, maybe grading, maybe saying,
this is, let me just set this up. Before we were doing this debate, Jack was talking a lot of smack. Said, hype me up. Mr. Producer here. I was going to come in real nice, real professional. Oh, no. Just go straight to Zuckerberg and state his points.
Well,
but then he was like, yo, man.
So I was like, I'm going to be so professional. I'm not really going to come out.
Yeah, because
Elon.
he was like talking a lot of smack. But you know what? The gloves are off now. The gloves are fucking off now. That's what's going to happen. The gloves are off, and Zucky Boy is going to do exactly what he's going to do in this studio. He's going to do in this cage fight.
Steal. steal. That's what he's gonna do.
Is he? Yeah. Well,
So
okay,
if
we're
the
gonna
gloves
get to that.
if the gloves are off, so that means we must move to the next question.
Yes, sir.
Next question will be: both Musk and Zuckerberg have faced significant criticisms in their careers. Can each of you address how your Titan has dealt with these challenges? Saj, you first.
Every trailblazer faces criticism. Zuck is no
true.
different.
This is true. I agree with that.
Right. I think the biggest thing that Mr. Zuck has faced was issues around data privacy. But it's important to note how Facebook/Meta has adapted, improved their policies and systems, and also improved their overall security. So I think a problem's a problem if it isn't solved.
Okay.
Mr. Zuck's taking care of all kinds of problems, and will continue to do so.
Okay. Now, before getting to, are you finished?
Zuck is never finished.
Okay.
Zuck will take a pause for now.
Okay. So, before I kind of get to Elon, I have a question, right, in regards to privacy. You mentioned privacy.
Yep.
Have you seen the new Threads privacy policy?
No.
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 Well, that might be something you'd like to take a look at, and maybe if you had done some research, you may have come across this where.
Right. Forgive me because
Now-
Threads was fucking dropped 2 days ago. So all of a sudden you're a Threads expert.
Let's keep in mind, Threads arguably has the same amount of data collection as TikTok, which was a very big concern for the United States in regards to that in TikTok. We're talking about
I'm sorry,
measuring
Mr.
keystrokes. We're talking about measuring where you go online, your contacts, your messages. But from a form of
Hey.
privacy,
I'm sorry,
some
Your
might
Honor. Is this a
say-
question about?
Some might
you know,
say
Zuck-
Zuck really isn't taking that seriously at all. But I
Let's keep it
digress.
focused on Elon here.
Okay, so I think
You forget the question? You want to
no,
rephrase
no.
the question? Okay.
I think for Elon, in regards to criticisms, it's very simple. One of the main reasons that people like him is because when he faces criticism, he's always very open and very honest and very straightforward. I think that's a part of his personality. I mean, there has been countless interviews.
The question
that
isn't whether
Elon-
people like him when he has criticism or not. What is
how he
the
handles-
worst? No. How has he addressed some of the worst criticisms, or what was he that he dealt with? Okay,
I'm
we
sorry.
don't want a love story about Elon.
Like I was previously saying before I was interrupted, one of the reasons why people like Elon is because he doesn't beat around the bush. He's very straightforward. There's been interviews where they have asked him why Twitter has been operating in a particular manner, and he just straight up tells them that the government was doing this, this is doing this. So I came in, I bought it, and then I changed X, Y, and Z. No sugarcoating at all. So in regards to criticism, right, to make this full circle,
Okay.
Elon faces them head on with not even flinching, lets them know the truth. The truth is the truth. It is what it is. Let's move on. He's a problem solver.
Elon is a Twitter keyboard warrior. Has Elon ever faced Congress?
He's
Has he?
No, I don't think
No.
so.
Zucky boy has.
Yeah. And how did Zuck
Can
do?
I jump
Handle
in
it
here?
like a champ.
Did he? He looked
Handled
scared
it
for his
like a
life. He looked
champ.
scared for his
I-
life.
Well, at least
I-
he faced Congress.
Is it?
I agree.
That's a good
Zuck
thing?
did look a little shook, and I feel like he really was almost hiding some things. But again, I am just a moderator here.
Whoa.
Now, wait. Let's kind of expand upon that point. Are you saying it's a good thing that he even had to face Congress?
Yeah,
Why?
because
Why
it's
should he even-
transparency.
But
What do you-
why? No. Why should it even get to that point that he had to face Congress? Because he was in question.
Yeah.
Some might say.
And he addressed it, and then they improved their systems.
Elon's never been questioned that much because he's always been so truthful and transparent. That's my point.
Wow.
Alrighty,
I'll let you have that.
let's move on here. So, I guess my next question would be: we're going to talk about impact on the world here. So
Okay.
let's discuss how each Titan is reshaping the world. Saj, can you talk about Zuckerberg's impact through Facebook and its other platforms?
Yeah, I mean, his impact is evident in our daily lives. Every single thing that we do. I mean, to the contrary of what you said in the past, is not using one of his products. I think that's exactly what happens when it comes to Zuckerberg's products, because everybody uses something that he has created. It's a billion users with a B, right? I think it's more than that now. Social media changed the way we communicate. It's Facebook is a driving force behind that. Now Meta. Also with VR, when he kind of full sent that, it changed the scene. For other companies to start innovating. Now we're talking about Apple, right? Apple has Apple Vision Pro, and the whole VR scene and the metaverse scene started to die a little bit, and then Apple kind of reinvigorated that.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like a seesaw effect between the two. Man, so I've mentioned this before. I lived in Kuwait for a majority of my life, and all my friends there, a lot of people had WhatsApp. And a lot of people have Facebook. When I moved here, college and onwards in my career, to the United States, the only way I could keep in touch with them was through Facebook and WhatsApp. It was a game changer. It connected people globally, no matter where you were, man. Whether you're in America, whether you're in Sudan, it doesn't matter. It allowed people to be able to connect with their loved ones and people, just with their fingertips. And that's something that is invaluable. It's, again, I think a lot of people just overlook the impact of what he's created.
I would, that's also a good point. I think WhatsApp is forgotten about a lot of times, and because, Meta, that's a part of the Meta kind of group, let's say, for sure. And I think actually Zuck has a good eye for kind of spotting companies like that and then just kind of, purchasing them and making it a part of the group. So I would kind of agree with a lot of what you said there, for sure.
Yeah, I think he is kind of like kind of how like Gary Vee always says that he has a good eye
for trends.
I think Zuck is that for social media.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree. Great point. So now Jack. How is Elon Musk pushing the boundaries with his work in Tesla, SpaceX, and Neuralink?
There's just so much to cover here.
A lot to cover.
Well, I'll focus on a couple things here. In regards to pushing the boundaries, we can start with Tesla. For the longest time, EV vehicles were just people were talking down about them. They can never work. And now Elon's now in a place where he's built Tesla up. Now that other companies like Ford are starting to build electronic vehicles more seriously, and that goes for not just Ford, but pretty much any other major car manufacturer.
Yep.
Now, in regards to SpaceX, listen, the guy wants to go to Mars, and he's been so keen on that for so long. Elon's in a place where the only reason why he's doing SpaceX is to expand humanity. Literally. Now, obviously, he also does a lot of work for NASA, and he's building a couple of places for astronauts and a bunch of different things. But his main goal has been to build rocket ships to get us to Mars, make Mars inhabitable so that the human race can expand there.
Yeah, I think also it's important to note that he has also used SpaceX to launch several tools, services, satellites.
Yes.
Also assisted NASA.
Yeah.
And in accomplishing things that NASA couldn't without the help of SpaceX.
Exactly. Also, a good segue is another one of Elon's companies, Starlink. Okay. Use satellites to give people service. So people in Kuwait, or let's say in the middle of the ocean, can use a platform like WhatsApp through Starlink that literally gives you service no matter where you are. That in itself is so revolutionary. Like we actually, we work with a couple of clients where they're on the water all the time, and the only reason they are able to communicate with us is through Starlink. And I, when they said that to me, I was like, that is just so cool.
Yeah.
Moving on to Neuralink, which personally is one of my favorite kind of ventures that he's doing. If you know what Neuralink is, and if you don't, a quick summary is it's really you're placing a chip inside of someone's brain to essentially fix them. This is stuff you see in movies.
Yeah.
And as a quick side note, the FDA actually just approved for human trials, like literally last month. So now he's been testing it in animals and, chimpanzees and stuff. But now we're in a place that he's actually, if someone's paralyzed, they get that chip inserted in them, and like he's saying they're going to be able to walk. If someone that was blind, you insert the chip and like they're going to be able to see. I mean, this is going to legitimately change people's lives. So when you talk about pushing boundaries, you can't start talking about pushing boundaries without mentioning Elon.
That's a great point, and that's a perfect segue into our next question, which is,
Okay.
in your view, which titan's current impact on the world is more profound and why? Saj, you begin.
So while Elon's accomplishments are remarkable, side note,
Sure.
the Ocean Gate Titan submarine was powered by Starlink. Look what happened there.
That is a
That's
a low blow. That's a low blow.
Tasteless. That's tasteless. But, but facts. But I think that Zuckerberg's impact is more profound because his platforms have basically brought people together in ways that are unimaginable. So, I think it has a more immediate and tangible impact on people's daily lives. Mr. Zuck does.
Well, assuming that it's kind of all you have to say there, I think in that aspect, absolutely. There's no argument there. But more so, if we're talking about a current impact on the world, whose impact has been more profound and why? I think the easy answer is Elon.
Yeah. What, Tesla?
Tesla,
Profound?
Sure. But more so, we think about, let's not forget, like, he was very involved and founded PayPal, right? Which eBay bought for $1.5 billion. So what? The guy was 24 when he did that.
Got lucky.
There's no such thing as getting lucky, okay? Now, also, with that in mind, like, obviously, we can talk about SpaceX, we can talk about Neuralink, we can talk about Tesla, we can talk about Twitter. The list literally goes on and on and on.
Mm-hmm.
The board company.
Mm-hmm.
But
the board company.
What?
The boring company.
What I think is very profound, one of the most profound points here, is the ability for Elon to bring people together and the ability for Elon to inspire people, right? Kind of going back full circle to the PayPal mafia. For those of you that may not know what that is, I'm going to give you a little summary here.
Okay.
Reid Hoffman was a part of the PayPal mafia. Okay. He founded LinkedIn. Jeremy Stolpelman, part of the PayPal mafia, founded Airbnb.
Okay.
Russell Simmons, part of the PayPal mafia, founded Yelp. Chad Hurley, Steve Chen, Jawad Karim, founded YouTube. These are all people that are part of the PayPal mafia.
Wait, you keep saying PayPal mafia. But how is this making the world? How is this more of a profound?
He inspired the next wave of entrepreneurs to found some of the largest companies we have to date. If that's not profound, being able to be in a place where your methods, your thought process, the way you do things, the way you conduct yourself inspires other people, and now these people have founded some of the largest companies in the world, what are we even talking about?
Yeah, it's a big reach to say that he was the reason why all of these people were
I'm not saying he's
successful.
the sole reason, but if you're going to say that he doesn't have any part,
here,
come on. What are you talking about? Name someone else that has that much of an impact.
You're basically saying he's responsible for YouTube.
He's responsible for these people to be in a place that they could found YouTube. Why do you think they founded YouTube? You don't think that the PayPal mafia and experience, not only from a monetary standpoint, impacted these people to be able to found it?
Yeah, influence is different, but I would not give him credit for them founding those things. There's no way. Influence is different, but you can't say that he's directly credited for.
I'm not saying he's directly credited.
That takes away
parts of it.
I know, but that diminishes all of the hard work and achievements for these individuals that have gone and built these successful brands.
I'm not saying it's 100%.
Because you and I both know how hard it is to build a brand.
Absolutely.
And to say that because he was part of this syndicate. God, what did you call it? The PayPal mafia.
That's what it's called. Yeah.
So bizarre. I think that's the shit that like kind of gets me when people talk about Elon, and I stand and I support a lot of it because it's like he didn't invent Tesla. He bought it and he did XYZ. He changed something. That's creditable.
Sure.
That's not a jab. But like when if you're around people or you're learning from them or you're part of a company and then went and did something else, I would not credit Elon for that. And by the way, when you're 24, you don't know shit. You don't know the top to bottom from the world. Like you, again, when I say lucky, there's jokes involved, but there's truth to it. There's a lot that goes into play when you're exiting a company that big at that early, at that unique time frame. But
I mean, listen, the reality is it was not luck that he got bought for 1.5 billion. There's no maybe timing, sure, but also with that being said, there's a reason. You know, at one point he was enrolled in Stanford, didn't go because he thought the internet was a bigger opportunity. Then literally sold PayPal a couple years later for 1.5 billion.
It's a good decision. What was he enrolled in Stanford for?
I don't know.
Interesting.
It's not important.
No.
Also keeping in mind. Actually, I'm so sorry. Correction. He was not 24 years old when he sold PayPal.
Okay.
He was 24 years old when he sold Zip2 to a computer manufacturer for over 300 million. So, a little bit smaller. Sorry. He sold PayPal in 2002. So he would have been about 31-ish, 32.
That sounds more.
So
yeah.
So my mistake. But end all be all, as I digress here, again, not without all of the different companies he had and the impact that they're making, space travel and electronic vehicles and curing diseases that were no longer curable.
Yeah, he didn't cure any diseases yet.
He has impacted a lot of some of the most successful entrepreneurs.
Okay.
All right. Let's move on.
Shall we?
Let's actually move to future, and shall I use the word ventures? Saj, can you share Zuckerberg's vision of the metaverse and its implications for the future of the internet?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah, so I think he envisions a future where the physical and digital worlds blend seamlessly, and a concept that is basically the metaverse, right? I mean, he didn't invent or create the idea, but he definitely tried to unify that with Oculus and everything else. I mean, it's still pretty active. I think Oculus is one of the tops. It's probably the biggest selling VR product that exists right now.
Yeah, it also has like Horizons, which is like his
its own native metaverse. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it could redefine the way we work, socialize, experience the internet. I mean, while these things are, again, it circulates back to what other people are doing. It's kind of like a synergy angle, right? Apple releasing Apple Vision Pro for connectivity, socialized work purposes. I mean, Zuckerberg has visualized that and put that into effect 4 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that's the future of the internet. The way I see this, again, same thing. It's in its infancy. I think 5 years from now, we're going to be able to put on headset or maybe just a tiny, sunglasses almost, and you'll be teleported. Your hologram would be teleported. I mean, we've seen Apple do that. This demo.
I saw a video.
It's a render
of. I'm sorry to cut you off here.
Yeah.
But I saw a video of Drake doing a concert.
I know.
In the hologram, handing him like a book.
I know.
Dude,
it's
that's
insane.
Nuts. What the hell is that?
It's pretty cool. It's probably the book was probably like dangling on a string or something, but it was sick.
That's nuts. But go ahead.
But I think that's where the world's going to be, where you're going to be like how we're connecting. He has a similar approach with the metaverse, how people connect with each other using WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook across different countries. People are going to be able to do that with essentially Oculus and what's to come, Quest in the future, where they'd be able to wear a tiny pair of glasses, be transported into their uncle or their aunt's or their family's living room, hologram. It's almost like you'd be there, and then with haptic gloves and feedback,
that
you can
stuff
also,
is cool,
right?
You can actually feel it.
You can start feeling. You can shake your hands with. You can hug your mom if she's not in the same country or same location. So I mean, it's going to further continue his mission, which is bringing people together.
Nice answer. Now, next question is for Mr. Jack.
Hit
Can
me.
you explain Mr. Elon Musk's future goals with Tesla, SpaceX, and Neuralink, and how they could transform our future?
I'll start with Neuralink, just because I think that's the most evident. Like I'd mentioned a couple times, as we've been talking, it's personally one of my favorites because I think the impact is just so large. Now, kind of addressing your question where it's his future goals. I mean, he legitimately wants to change people's lives. Like that is the main goal, and the FDA was giving him a problem for a while, and now he just got approved, like in June, to start testing in humans. And I mean, to think about if you have a loved one that is impaired in some sort of way, whether it's blindness or you have something wrong with your hearing, or even if you're paralyzed, having a procedure to stick a chip in your brain and then you wake up and you can walk. I mean, I can't even fathom what that would feel like.
Mm-hmm.
So from a standpoint of, again, to kind of circle back to your question, how is it impacting the future or transforming our future? I mean, I think that in itself will transform the future. Now, kind of moving on to the SpaceX thing, I think this is something he's actually like really passionate about, it seems like, is getting to Mars. Because he's one of the guys that, like, at some point Earth will kind of run out of resources, and he's one of the few people that are kind of focused on not the politics of green energy and all these different things and fossil fuels, but he's trying to go and find a different planet, which is kind of bizarre, and for those who don't know, at one point SpaceX was going to go bankrupt, but then he got a huge NASA contract that kind of brought him back to life. So he's also working with NASA. So space travel, fixing humans that are damaged, let's say. And then for Tesla, I think just making it more mainstream. Again, at some point, Earth's resources will run out. So how we go about traveling, it will be something of its own. Obviously the sun, I guess, technically eventually will run out, but we're very, very far from that. So having the ability to utilize, solar, transforming that into, energy to charge, let's say, your Model S Tesla, very sustainable. So without, going into very, very much detail here, that's what my response would be to that.
Perfect. Now, can you each discuss one latest project or innovative from your tech titan that excites you the most?
Neuralink. I'm like so fascinated.
All three, Neuralink is your favorite one?
Yeah, I just think it's like something out of a movie, bro. Like literally, like there's, I'm sure there's like a viral video at one point where you saw like a monkey playing like a very basic game where there's like two bars and then they're just bouncing the ball back and forth between the bars. So at first he was using a controller, and then the next progression was he was no longer using a controller, he's just using his brain. Like that is unreal.
I know we saw that video. It's insane, man.
It's unreal.
Telepathy. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's telepathy using modern science. It's wild. I don't know if that's the one that excites me the most about Musk, but it's the most out there. It's like it's legitimately something from a movie. Mm-hmm.
Like again, I've repeated it, but being in a place that you legitimately think of the people, like fortunately for me, I don't have anyone in my family that, is paralyzed, is blind, is deaf, but let's say even diabetes, right? We all have people or friends, family that we know have diabetes. If you implant a, chip in your brain,
well, I don't know if it can fix diabetes, but I think it from what I understand, Neuralink is supposed to solve neurological problems.
It's in your brain that it controls like
anything that has to do with like paralysis, for example, like things that can hard to reach places in your brain and your synapses, basically, that could be modified with this chip, are things that I don't think he can solve any and everything. He can't cure cancer, or at least not yet. But from what the implications is to basically fix that. So we'll see.
Unreal.
I think it's another 5 to 10 years before we can do that. He even said one time when he was talking about Neuralink is that he would, there is the possibility of people being able to communicate telepathically. Like me and Jack don't have to move our mouths, but we can just hear each other's thoughts if we both have a Neuralink implant in our heads. It's fucking nuts.
Would you get one?
Yeah.
I would get one too.
I'd get
100%.
one instant.
Oh, you'd be part of the human trial?
Is it permanent? Is it removable? If it's permanent, I probably wouldn't get it.
I don't know if it's permanent. That's a really good question.
If there's a little like a door shaft that I can open and close anytime, take it
Oh.
out, put it back in, that'd be lit.
Okay.
But
This guy's living in La La Land here.
how am I living in La La Land? That's we're talking about 2070, 2080. Who knows? It's a little door shaft. That's all I'm saying. For me, Zuckerberg's most exciting project would be Project Aria.
Okay.
So Aria, I don't know if David, if you can pull up the visuals for this. It's basically AR and AI.
Combined?
Yeah. So it's utilizing augmented reality glasses, which I'm super excited about. I have yet to see a product that just seamlessly does it. Like if I could just wear like my Ray-Bans. And
I remember when I brought in the Oculus and we were trying it.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, it's great, but it's so heavy. Like, I need glasses. You've been talking about that forever, bro.
Oculus is VR, and I mean they do VR and AR, but I'm talking more about just AR. Oculus, I mean the Apple Vision Pro, everything is so heavy and bulky. We've been talking about it for forever. That was like 2 years ago, and the reality is not much has changed. But virtual reality is very difficult to achieve because you need complete visual blackness, darkness when you put them on for the lenses and the optic visuals to be able to work effectively. With augmented reality, though, you need to be able to see your environment, and you need projectiles on your glass screens for you to be able to see what's being augmented in front of you. But I think Project Aria is probably one of the things that
Wait, so what is it?
It's augmented reality and AI. It's a lot of research-based products,
Okay.
like things like that.
Does he have any upcoming products?
Yeah, I think that they're working on kind of like a goggle. It's like a AR AI pair of goggles. So you can look it up. Just Google Project Aria, and maybe David can pull up some visuals of what I'm talking about here.
Very interesting. Very, very, very interesting.
Now, this next section, this is probably the most interesting to me.
Oh.
And it pretty much entails, the fight that is supposed to happen between them. So let's imagine that this cage match actually happens, whether Dana White sets it up or, the Italian government steps in and it's in the Coliseum.
Might happen.
I hope so.
I really
Who do
hope
you
so.
think would come out on top and why? Remember, we are talking physically, not intellectually or financially, just physically. Now, some will say that there is a mental aspect in this game. But just based off physicality, who do you guys think is coming out on top? Jack, you first.
I mean, the obvious answer is Elon, right? I mean, even just from a physical standpoint, I mean, he can snap Mark like a twig. How much does Mark weigh? 170 pounds soaking wet? Maybe. I mean, has anyone seen the picture of Elon with his shirt off on the yacht? The guy is a unit. The guy is a legitimate unit. Stone cold killer he is. Stone cold killer.
David,
Now-
pull up the picture right here. Pull up the picture.
The guy's a unit. Now
As he
he's
says
he's white as powder because he doesn't
Okay.
get any sun. But
I can't
from
keep
a
it
body structure,
straight. Can't believe that's the stat.
he is a unit. Now, outside of just pure size, Elon, I know, has been training with some very notable individuals because, I know one of the first things I was going to say is, oh, Zuck does BJJ, he does jiu-jitsu, he won a little mini private tournament. Okay. Elon not only has the size, but also has been training with GSP and grinding it out. So
For those who don't know who GSP is, would you like to maybe...
George St. Pierre,
Perfect.
UFC, MMA, Hall of Fame legend.
Some would say the greatest of all time.
That might be a stretch.
That's not a stretch.
Some would say it.
Some would say it.
He's not the greatest ever.
Who? Okay, that's a different debate. But he is in that
He's
category.
definitely
he's
in the
in that
category.
talked
echelon,
about
for sure.
that. for
Without
sure.
a doubt. In the
GSP.
category, 100%. But he's been training with him. And also, let's not forget, Elon was the one that has engaged this match. Okay? So he's the aggressor in this sort of scenario. So he is about that action, to say the least. I digress.
Okay.
Saj, your point, your reasoning, I guess I should say, on why Zuck should win, because I'm gonna assume that you believe Zuck's gonna win.
Let me set this up for Zucky Boy.
Perfect.
Sure.
At
Boy,
39,
keyword boy.
5'7", 154 pounds. He's 12 years younger,
Little
4
man.
inches shorter,
Little man.
and 24 pounds lighter than Musk.
24?
Mm-hmm.
No way.
Something like that. He took up MMA during the pandemic. Won 2 medals in a BJJ tournament.
Bronze, right?
I think gold and silver. He can run a 5K under 20 minutes. He attempts the CrossFit Murph Challenge every year, which is basically run a mile,
Okay.
100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 squats, then another mile, all while wearing a 20-pound weight pack.
Light work.
He also light work.
Easy.
All right, let's do it then. Let's do it. Okay.
Give me a date.
He eats clean. He hunts his own animals and kills them and eats them. I mean, if Elon has ever slaughtered a chicken, we can end this conversation right here.
Okay.
I rest my case, Your Honor.
So I guess we'll move to the next question. If this cage match were to take place, what would each, I'll say genius, you could use titan, innovator, whatever word you would like to use, what would be their signature move in WWE terms, maybe finisher? What do you think? Saj, what do you think Zuckerberg's go-to move is? And Jack, what about Musk? Saj, you first.
I think
This is going to be a troll. Let's see what this one is.
Zuckerberg would go for the algorithm assault.
What is the
A
algorithm?
well-calculated, methodical approach,
Yeah.
reflecting his nature.
What is the move?
The algorithm assault.
What is the algorithm assault?
I can't reveal his secrets. That's just his signature move. That's the
Oh
Zuck
my God.
signature move. What's your move?
Is it a variation of a kick, like a punch, like
He doesn't know.
takedown?
It's a very calculated,
It's just like
methodical
attack.
attack.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh, you mean like physically? What is his move?
I mean, that's...
Could be anything. It could be like he could
So
be like
it's-
he could be like a Pikachu Volt attack, dude. It could be anything.
Yeah, that fits
But it's
Zuck
the
so
algorithm
well.
assault.
Okay.
That's all you need to know. When you see that on the highlight card,
So this is what... So Elon's signature move, right? Very simple, very straightforward. To his personality, he would see this little algorithmic assault and Zuck's doing all these little power-ups. Elon would look him in the face and say, "I'm the captain now," and just sock Zuck in the face. Zuck doesn't
sock is his move.
Yes.
Get the fuck outta here,
punch
bro.
him, sock, punch him, whatever you would like to
Like a
call it.
sucker punch.
No, as it's almost, I'm kind of picturing, this algorithmic assault, right?
Okay.
Zuck's like doing all of this
yeah.
like voodoo shit, like he's like, wax on, wax off.
Yeah.
Elon looks at him
Yep.
and just one punch
Just
knocks him out cold. Because let's keep in mind, Zuck's never taken a punch before. He's doing all the wrestling and stuff. He doesn't really know what that feels like.
Elon's never thrown a punch before, so
You
let's
don't know
also
that.
take that in.
You don't know that.
Yeah.
You don't know that. It would seem a little bit odd to me for someone that's never thrown a punch to engage in a cage match. So I'll just say that.
So now moving to the next question, there was some controversy before we went live. So from each side, Jack, can you give us a good walkout entrance song for Mr. Elon?
Oh,
And
yeah.
Saj, can you give us a great
You want to go first?
walkout song for Mr. Zuck? Jack, go first.
It has to be. It has to be Many Men, 50 Cent. It has to be. Many Men, 50 Cent. Many men have wished death upon Elon. But no one has come even close. Not even close to it.
I can't see him rocking to that, but sure.
He's also like kind of a troll too, so like he would.
Okay. I can see Zuck entering the ring to Harder, better, faster, stronger. Like Daft Punk's. I think that-
Nah,
yeah.
you can't kill me. You know,
Well, the
make
Kanye
me
remix,
stronger.
maybe, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
Now, a little bridge off that question. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Now,
you're good.
When they
Uh,
enter the ring,
Mm-hmm.
like when this song is playing, they're entering the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's the next move? Are they doing like a Conor McGregor like taunt, right? Or is it more of like a
Like as he's
like-
walking
yeah,
in
like
the ring.
he's walking, or is it more of like a Oliveira approach where like he goes to the other corner, says, you know, God bless you, all that stuff, more of a friendly approach, or is it more of a I'm gonna kill you Conor McGregor approach?
I
For
can't
both
speak
sides.
for Elon, but I think Zuckerberg is just he's walking up and he's listening to Daft Punk's harder, better, faster, stronger. He's also just like mimicking and prepping for the algorithm assault, you know, and just he's just powering up, juicing up the
batteries.
the Zuck batteries.
Mm.
It'll almost be like it might be a 10-second knockout. You know, that's gonna be the power of the algo assault.
So, oh god, this algo assault stuff. I think Elon's gonna definitely take more of like a Nate Diaz approach.
Oh yeah,
He's gonna walk up like
He's gonna take
the
a lot of beating.
baddest man on the planet, because he is. Make no mistake about it. And he's gonna be taunting. He's gonna be trolling. You know,
Right.
Elon Musk is a big troll.
yeah.
And it's so funny. So he's going to be trolling Zuck because Zuck's going to be doing all his little wax on, wax off stuff. Elon's just going to be laughing at him because it's laughable, him and his little algorithmic assault. Whatever that even means, let that be known. We still don't even know what move it is. More of a concept, it seems.
So I guess segueing into our next question, who will have, you know, they both have different personalities.
Yeah.
Who has the better, some would say, trash talk? Who's getting the better of the other in a press conference? you wanna
Elon,
say?
obviously. Has to be.
What would he say?
I don't know what he would say. But I know that Zuck doesn't strike me as, Zuck's more like conservative. We've always been that way. Let's not forget, he's a coder at heart. So
Let's not worry about
He's
Zuck.
not,
Tell me
you
what how is Elon gonna trash talk and smack talk for this cage fight leading up to the fight?
he's going to say, Zuck, you're a little man. Okay,
Mhm.
you gave his stats before 5'7". The fact that you said that Elon's only 24 pounds
Mm-hmm.
heavier than Zuck. I mean, I don't know where he got that information. That has to be absolutely malarkey. It has to be.
No,
It has to be.
I think it's
David, pull up a shot of Elon with the shirt off and then Zuck. Okay? If you're
Hey
gonna tell
man,
me that's
don't be
only
body
24,
shaming your own guy.
I'm not body shaming. It's a pure size difference.
Well, don't be body shaming my guy then.
I'm not body shaming anyone. I'm not
Hey, man.
shaming. I'm just saying it's a clear picture that there is no way on God's green earth that's only 24 pounds.
Do you think it's more?
has to be.
No, I think it's
it has to be. So, in regards to smack talk, I mean, it's very simple. Zuck, you're a very small child. I'm bigger than you. Okay? And
That's what he's gonna say.
I'm gonna keep this like PG,
Uh-huh.
but very famous words by one of my favorite characters of all time, Thomas Shelby.
Okay. This is gonna be good.
Big destroys small. He used a different word. I'm gonna keep it PG rated, but big destroys small, and that's what's gonna happen in the Coliseum or wherever in the Octagon.
Okay.
I rest my case.
I think Zuckerberg's smack talk is gonna be subtle but
Okay.
smart. So he's gonna say
Okay.
something like, Elon, you may reach for the stars, but remember, I've already connected the world.
Trash. So fucking trash.
That's just
Some
how
little mind games, some would say.
Corny.
Some
Elon's
mind
got
games.
an iron gate.
So,
around his
fun
brain.
fact, I did some research on this. Mark Zuckerberg stands at 5'7" and weighs 154 pounds.
I was right.
154.
That's what I said.
Elon Musk stands at 5'11", weighing in at 180 pounds.
Yeah, it's about right.
Almost 30 pounds.
Yeah, 24, 26.
20. That's what I said. 27, 28 pound.
Elon's
difference.
only 5'11".
That's what it says. I have a hard time
E-
believing
Elon?
it too.
So
but
to
it's
keep
just-
in mind
this
here,
is just
guys,
from Google.
keep in mind, pretty much based off those stats, Elon is my height, and he's a little bit bigger than me. I'm literally 175 pounds. You're telling
What's
me
your
Elon,
point?
I thought I was under something. Elon was much bigger than that.
I thought he was like 230 pounds.
I thought it was like 6'1", 230.
I know.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
So moving on to the next question. In a twist of wild events, let's say they decide to put their companies on the line. You know how some fighters put their purse up. They say, oh, I'll bet all the money. They put up their companies, right? Now, instead of their physical prowess, who wins in the cage match of companies? Tesla and SpaceX or Facebook and Instagram? Saj, elaborate.
Easy. Facebook and Instagram.
Or
Connect-
cage match, like anything goes kind of vibe.
No one's fighting. Basically, his question is like nobody's fighting. It's just like if we were to judge between the companies, who would win? Elon or Zuck?
Yeah.
Zuck, because we've connected the world, baby. This is what we do. Light.
If Wi-Fi went out, how would they be connected?
LAN parties.
Starlink is the answer.
Mm.
Starlink. So Elon will always
What
have
happened to Ocean Gate? Tighten up.
it imploded. Had nothing to do with
No
service.
comms. No
had
comms.
nothing to do with service.
No
It was
comms.
imploding. It couldn't get back up.
Mm.
Anyway, you know they're running promos to do another trip.
Who? Ocean Gate? No, what?
Yeah, they are. But anyway,
that's jacked up. We never talked about that whole thing, huh? On any episodes?
not really.
Well, too late now. All right, Pete.
Anyway, I think the obvious answer, it has to be Tesla and SpaceX. Now, some might say you chose Tesla and SpaceX for whatever reason, whoever created these questions. But the reality is this. We're talking about two different industries, right? Where Facebook and Instagram are just social media. SpaceX being space, Tesla being travel. I mean, talking about two heavy hitters here. And spaces that are very, 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 very competitive at a large scale, making cars and traveling to space. So, you know, it just seems like it's just not even. It's like Muhammad Ali, you know, versus, you know, Joe Schmo.
All right.
Moving on to the next question. What valuable lesson or insight could entrepreneurs take away from this unusual and somewhat humorous situation? Jack, you first.
I think a good takeaway, although like obviously we're having a debate about it, like it's funny and stuff, is you can accomplish anything, and who cares what people think? Like we're kind of sitting here, and you know, we're not making fun. I mean, I guess we're kind of poking fun, but like they don't care. Like they want to do it, so they do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think that's probably the biggest lesson for me, at least, is you have no ceiling, no boundaries. You know, do what you want, enjoy it, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think this situation reminds us to not take things too seriously. You know, in the entrepreneurial world, there's a lot of room for a little fun and rivalry, let's say, you know, and it adds to the human element of the entrepreneurial journey. So I think this is a good highlight and reminder for people that even at the highest echelons of success,
don't take yourself too seriously.
yeah, it's okay to sometimes not to take things too, I would say not yourself, but take things too seriously, you know?
Okay.
Nice. So, I guess as we wrap up this debate, could each of you share a closing argument for why your tech titan, mogul, whatever word you would like to use, is the one shaping the future more substantially? Saj, you first.
Look, I think you know how I feel about Musk. You know, jokes aside, I love Elon.
Mm-hmm.
And I you know, they're both formidable forces. I think at Zuckerberg's peak, his vision was and is of an interconnected, immersive digital world which will shape our future more profoundly. Now, the reason why I say this is because it's already done that. And I think his goal and vision is to kind of keep elevating that. And, as we poke jokes towards Musk and his vision, and we all know what he can accomplish, but the reality is, let's stay on planet Earth, right? And we can talk about space all we want. But that's my great grandchildren's problems. Right now, I just want to worry about the people on Earth. I want to worry about, all the people, the homeless people, the struggling people, the people I can't keep in touch with, my loved ones. Let's take care of the people here now. Yeah. So that's what Zucky Boy is doing.
Yeah, I mean, to wrap up why Elon is the more impactful tech titan, I can piggyback off what Mr. Saj here, my co-host, just said, is let's take care of the people on Earth, by providing them additional ways to travel, not spending money on gas when gas prices are astronomically high. When, let's say you have a family member that is severely injured, is paralyzed, and he has the company Neuralink that's working on game-changing technology. And then also we have Starlink, that can keep people connected in all over the world that don't have 5G or don't have service. If you're in the middle of a third world country, you can still be connected and use Mr. Zuckerberg's apps, but because of Elon, because of Starlink. So, although, Zuckerberg has done a lot of great things, it just seems like Elon is just better in almost every single capacity, even looks, some might say. Again, I think Zuck has done, one thing, like you had mentioned, Zuck has done really well is just the social media game. I mean, at the time of this filming, he releases Threads, and they've onboarded 10 million users faster than any other platform in the world. It was literally like 2-3 hours. That is not something that is easy to do. Now, for him, maybe, because he has the network of Instagram and Facebook, and he made it so easy to navigate. But, again, I think for the sake of this argument, Elon is the winner, and it's not even close.
For the last question, how can our listeners learn from these tech titans in their own entrepreneurial journeys? Jack?
Never give up, I think, is definitely a common theme here. But I think also something to take note of is, if I'm not mistaken, like both of these guys are pretty self-educated. So although going to school is great, although they did for parts of their lives, a very small majority, do not underestimate the power of self-educating yourself, going through your trials, failing, going again, failing,
I think it's a good
going
point.
again. Again, we're talking about some of the two most influential and tech titans of the entire existence here, not just of all time.
Of all time.
And will continue to be even when we're gone.
Yeah.
So, and to think that they both didn't go to the greatest college ever, it's something to be said about that. So, especially now in 2023, you have all the tools that you need to go ahead, learn what you need to learn, and go out and pretty much accomplish something, great, and that can live longer than you. So that would kind of be my takeaway.
Yeah, and I think just to add to that, I think people can learn about the, just the overall importance of being adaptable, being able to stay ahead of the curve. And I think from, I guess, purely Zuckerberg's perspective, building communities around products. And I think these are good key takeaways for my Titan here.
Awesome.
And I think how do we I guess that should pretty much wrap up our questions. How do we do, Mr. Moderator, Producer James?
I think you guys did a great job. I thought it went smooth. I'm looking forward to more debates, definitely in the future. I think this first one, I think we killed it,
Hopefully, if
I think there were some good questions, even better answers, some good banter back and forth. I think you
If you had
guys
to
did
declare a
great
winner, I
job.
mean, should we put him on the spot to declare a winner, or are you going to reserve and say you would not like to, which is okay?
You want to declare a winner here? All you gotta say is Elon or Zuck.
See, my thing is that you guys both made such good points.
Okay, so this is leading towards
So-
a no. So let's, as we kind of actually wrap up, I would like to pose something to our community, to our viewers,
How
to our
about,
listeners.
sorry to cut you off, how about we ask the audience who they think won? That's my question for the audience.
That's
Okay.
exactly
Who's the
what I
winner?
was alluding to here. Viewers, listeners, let's, in the comments here, or even DMs, I'd like you just to send Elon or Zuck who won, and then we're going to tally them up, and then we're going to see, maybe make a post on our Instagram or something as to what the votes were. Now, this kind of concludes our Tech Titan face-off here. And we turn to you guys, like I've mentioned. Send us the DM. Make the comments. Who you thought won. And as always, we appreciate you guys. And we look forward to more debates. So we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, venture hustles, life is really what you make it. Building up your brand is whatever you create it. Really ain't no limit. You just gotta love it. Working day and night, it's all about the venture hustle. Hey, venture hustles. Time to take it to the next level. Let's go.